"Zoe, stop pointing." But the little girl didn't listen. Her tiny fingers stayed frozen in the air, her voice trembling. "Daddy, that lady looks just like the woman in Mommy's painting." Ryan Ellis turned toward the sidewalk and froze. Sitting outside the WGN TV studio was a homeless woman in a faded coat and worn shoes. But it wasn't the clothes that stunned him. It was her face, her eyes, her jawline, even the gentle way she tucked her curls behind her ear. She looked exactly like Selena. But Selena had died in childbirth 8 years ago, in this very city. Ryan's heart pounded. He grabbed Zoe's hand. "Stay close, honey." The woman noticed the staring and instinctively pulled her coat tighter. She was used to being ignored, not studied, not like this. Inside the studio, the morning broadcast countdown began. 5, 4. But outside, something else was unfolding, something too impossible to be coincidence. And what Zoe whispered next would rip the family secret wide open. "She has Mommy's necklace," Zoe whispered. "The one from the painting." Ryan's eyes dropped. Around the woman's neck, on a frayed string, hung a locket. Oval, silver, with a tiny dent near the clasp. Selena's locket, a gift from her mother. That wasn't possible. Ryan stepped forward, slowly. "Excuse me, miss, may I ask your name?" The woman recoiled. "I don't want trouble." Her voice cracked like dry wood. He softened. "You're not in trouble. I need to know if you've ever met someone named Selena." The woman blinked. "Selena?" She hesitated. I don't know anyone named that." But her hand instinctively went to the locket, guarding it like muscle memory. "Daddy, you're crying," Zoe said. He was. Because that voice, it wasn't just familiar. It was the voice he heard in his daughter's laughter, in lullabies sung long ago. And for the first time in 8 years, Ryan questioned everything he thought he knew about his wife's death. But the truth was still buried, and someone had paid to keep it that way. 3 days later, Ryan sat across from Abigail Monroe, Selena's mother, Zoe's grandmother, the woman who helped raise his daughter, the same woman who insisted for years that Selena had died alone. He slid a photo across the table. The homeless woman, Jordan, sitting on the sidewalk. Abigail's wine glass trembled. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because Zoe saw her, and so did I. She has Selena's face, her voice, her locket." Abigail looked away. "That's not possible." "I had a lab run a DNA sample. It's a 99.8% match." Silence. Then a whisper. "You shouldn't have done that." Ryan leaned forward. "Who is she?" Abigail's lip quivered. "She was a mistake." His blood ran cold. "You mean you knew?" Abigail stood, trembling. "You don't understand. She was never meant to be found." Ryan stared, stunned. The woman who helped raise his child had stolen her from her real mother. And worse, she wasn't finished trying to erase the past. What she did next would put Zoe in danger. That night, Jordan was sleeping in the city shelter when a man in a blazer walked in, pretending to be with social services. "Jordan Ellis?" he asked, gently. She nodded, cautious. "We need you to come with us, for your safety." But when she hesitated, 2 more men appeared behind him. One held a syringe. She ran. Down the alley, through traffic, barefoot. Her chest burned, but she didn't stop. Meanwhile, Ryan's phone buzzed. It was Carlton Reyes, the family's longtime attorney. "You need to see this." He forwarded a clip, security footage from the shelter. Jordan being chased. Then, a name. The vehicle used belonged to a shell company tied to Abigail Monroe. "She's trying to silence her," Ryan muttered. "No," Carlton said. "She's trying to erase her, again." Ryan hung up, turned to his assistant. "Schedule a press conference. I want this on every screen in Chicago." He paused. "And find Jordan before they do." But what he didn't know, Zoe had already found her, and the cameras were rolling. The morning show was supposed to be about tech innovation. Instead, it became a national reckoning. Live on air, Zoe walked onto the set, holding Jordan's hand. Ryan froze in the wings. Producers screamed in his earpiece, but he didn't move. Zoe faced the camera. "This is my mom." Gasps. Silence. A ripple of chaos. From the shadows, Abigail burst in. "Stop this! She's dangerous! She's lying!" Jordan stepped forward, calm but trembling. "I never gave up looking for my baby. You just made sure I couldn't be found." She turned to the host, her voice steady. "Check the original birth record, the one Abigail had sealed. My name's on it. I am Zoe's mother." And then she pulled out the envelope Ryan had helped her retrieve, the DNA test, court affidavit, and a picture of her holding newborn Zoe before she was taken. Live, unedited. Abigail collapsed to her knees. The audience stood in stunned silence. And in that silence, they finally heard her. Jordan Ellis spent years erased from her daughter's life, silenced, hidden, forgotten. But truth has a way of rising when someone dares to stand in it. Her journey reminds us that silence isn't peace, it's a cage. And sometimes the most powerful act isn't fighting back, it's simply refusing to disappear. If this story moved you, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Subscribe for more stories like this, stories that prove dignity can't be erased.